I figured Gideon would have a bed like Scrooge McDuck's. Gideon must use these for strength training. Sylvia was probably more of an aerobic workout. Ah, the 9 Knights of St. Gideon. Galahad, Lancelot, Hector, Harry, Hotspur, Haggis, Deadeye Dick, the Shadow, and Fierce Fred, who was the smallest and hungriest knight of them all. Court, a novel by the author of Joy of Chess, More Joy of Chess, and everything you've ever wanted to know about chess but were afraid to ask. I could stare at this painting for like 8 seconds without getting bored. Wow, that's a pretty horsey. It looks like solid gold. Gideon must have paid a king's ransom. This sculpture is just like the one in my office. Of course, that's like comparing an actual Lamborghini to the Matchbox version. Gideon's all set up for a round of tag team chess. Look, a rook. Looks like a bishop-shaped lamp. Wow, that's a pretty horsey. Wow, that's a pretty horsey. That's a pawn. Probably ought to have my face on it. Well, the floor pretty well checks out. Gideon's all set up for a round of tag team chess. Something big just opened up around here. I stepped out of a secret elevator onto a balcony overlooking a huge gallery filled with priceless paintings, beautiful sculptures, and classic statues.
In other words, a place where you were completely out of your element.
If you're implying that I have poor taste, then wouldn't that reflect poorly upon my choice of dates?
All right, I take it back. Continue.
Well, large chandeliers hung from the ceiling, and across the room I could see a set of doors. Unfortunately, the floor of the gallery was pressure sensitive and lit up with extremely high voltage. There had to be some way to get across, but it certainly wasn't obvious just how I was supposed to do it. Ah, the statue of David. This part of the floor is armed. It reminds me of my last girlfriend. Nice body, but nothing upstairs. This painting has a somewhat religious feel to it. This painting has a somewhat religious feel to it. This part of the floor is armed. Now, I'm no tightrope walker, but those retaining walls look as though they just might be wide enough to walk on. All this art and not one classic movie poster. This probably costs a lot of money, and I have no idea why. A sturdy brass railing. Could probably support a lot of weight. And it looks like it's coming loose. If I could get that even with the balcony, I might be able to find a way to reach it. This must raise and lower the chandelier so it can be cleaned.
Oh, I would have loved to have seen that. I can just imagine you shimmying across on that pole.
It's my formal dance training. Luckily, there was a big control panel on the outside of one of the walls. I just had to find it. This painting has a somewhat religious feel to it. This guy's got girl trouble. This probably costs a lot of money, and I have no idea why. Well, I'm no expert, but I'm guessing Gideon didn't buy this one at Prince Plus. Well, I'm no expert, but I'm guessing Gideon didn't buy this one at Prince Plus. Another control panel. Maybe this one has something to do with the security system in here. Need to jump down to the floor inside the display walls. This part of the floor looks safe, for the moment. This part of the floor looks safe, for the moment.
That wouldn't have been the best way to handle the situation.
Need to jump down to the floor inside the display walls. This part of the floor looks safe, for the moment. This part of the floor is armed.
That wouldn't have been the best.
Need to jump down to the floor inside the display walls. So I had no choice but to pursue another solution. Need to jump down to the floor inside the display walls. This looks suspiciously like a flower pot.